Hi, this is Phil from PDQ Merchant Enterprises and ATM Mastermind group page, and we're here today to talk about cold calls. Should I do them in the ATM business? So the reason we're doing this video is we've had some people ask, do we do cold calls? Is it beneficial? Other people in the ATM do cold calls, and if I'm a new guy, should I be doing this? Okay, well, I'm going to define what a cold call means. What a cold call means to me is the actual art of picking up the phone, calling a business that you don't know, you don't have any relationship with, and asking them, do you have an ATM? Do you need an ATM? Okay, so personally, that has never worked for me. I'm not a cold call guy. I don't have that skill set, but I did find someone who did have that skill set. And what they were doing is that's what they did. They cold called businesses. They helped do that for other businesses, and you hired their service. So I ran into a guy, he was in the cold call business, and so we hired his team to do cold calls for us, okay? They came up with a script, we hired them on an hourly basis to make cold calls. And what happened is they would call, they would make some leads or some appointments for us, and we ended up going to these appointments. And what I found out is the businesses that we started going to, they weren't really the right business for us. We got some tire shops, we got some restaurants, but they weren't the right kind of restaurants. We tried for a bar and grill a couple times, and actually there was an ATM already in there. They weren't talking to the right people, and it ended up costing us a bunch of money, and it didn't really work. Even though he was professional in the game, he knew what he was doing, we did it the right way, but it just didn't work for our team and for our company. So I decided, hey, you know what? I was not a professional to try to do this. I tried it. I couldn't make any headway. Then we hired a company that actually does this, and it wasn't successful. Now there are companies that are out there who are successful at doing this, but it wasn't something that we were good at, and even when I hired the right team, they weren't good at it. So for us, I just stay away from the cold call because it just hasn't worked, but it doesn't mean it won't work for you, okay? I'm more of the pop-in type of guy, pop-in company, face-to-face. I believe this is a relationship business, and so what we try to do is build on that relationship. So I have 5 tips that basically tell you my idea of what a cold call is, or a pop-in that I'm going to redefine it, and what works for us and how we've made it successful. All right, so tip number 1, I talked about this in other videos, but when you're talking to a potential customer, they got to get to know you before they can trust you, and before they can trust you, or before they can do business with you, they have to trust you. So they got to get to know you, they got to get to trust you, and then they'll do business with you. Now all that takes a little bit of time. You will have to spend some time with that potential customer, that potential owner, to get them to know you before they will trust you. So you're going to have to go in there from time to time, build that relationship. Again, this is a relationship business, and you're going to have to go in there and build that relationship over and over and over again, really to help get your product in the door, okay? And then once you get that relationship going, then I think they'll listen to you, and then they'll trust you enough to do business with it. In the meantime, I'm sure you're going to be telling them the benefits of the ATM, why it's good to have an ATM in their business, how it will drive traffic to their location, how it will give their customers a cash option, and how to accept payments. So some of the businesses, again, depending on who we're dealing with, they might be a cash-only business. They're going to need a cash solution because people carry credit cards or debit cards. That business isn't taking them, and this will provide a solution for their business. But all that's built on a relationship that you're going to create in the first thing. And again, that's our first point, is building a relationship. Second thing is, when I'm going in and do cold calls, the second thing is it becomes a disadvantage. I'm telling them about our product, and it puts me on a defensive right away, because now they'll be able to have better negotiation from this. Since I'm pushing at them, what happens is they can negotiate a better surcharge, they can, or split, they can negotiate a better contract length, and all this puts me on the negative. It's better always to get them to call you or do business with, but when you guys are starting out, you're going to be trying to get those locations, and it puts you at a little bit of disadvantage. So you're going to have to build up that confidence. It's going to take a little time. But this point number 2, again, reiterate, is this whole thing of going out is going to create a disadvantage to you. Okay, so point number 3 is now I have to flip the deal, okay? I have to talk about how good our service is, how good our company, so they want us to be involved. And I'm gonna try, as a friend of mine always would say, now I'm actually hustling backwards. I'm trying to get them to a point where I need them to be. I need them to be on a certain surcharge split. I need them to be on a certain length of contract. And sometimes, the reason I call it hustling backwards, and it's really a friend of mine's term, but what it means is I'm getting to that point that I want them to be at, but now I gotta work this deal backwards to get them so I can get the split and the length of contract that I want. Or it's all this is for nothing. I did all this situation, all this relationship, and I told them all about our product, only to be hit with basically maybe as little as no contract up until 50% of the surcharge. And that deal doesn't necessarily work for our company or us, but that's maybe where it could go. And so now I'm gonna have to work really hard to get it away from that and onto something that is beneficial for our team. All right, for points 4 and 5, please go to the ATM Mastermind group page where it's free to join. It's a like-minded community that you guys will really enjoy. Other people just like yourself, either new game or trying to get into the ATM business, or you've been in the ATM business for a while, and you just get like-minded people going back and forth with ideas and comments, and it's always a good community to be in, very positive community. Also remember, we have a program that we teach an A to Z approach, and if you're thinking about getting into the game, into the ATM business, we give you a step-by-step tutorial how to do this, along with hours of coaching to help you guys that are new to the game or want to get into the game about how to create generational wealth for you and your family, and just a little something extra maybe at the end of the month. So I hope that is helpful. Also, thank you very much for liking and subscribing to our channel. If you guys have any ideas of what other videos we need to make, please put them in the comments below. We always appreciate your feedback. Always remember to like and subscribe our channel, and I'll see you guys over at the ATM Mastermind group page. Thank you very much.